All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I got a quick video where I'm going to show you how you can potentially get better in-game performance using a feature that's available on somewhat newer graphics cards called Resizable BAR. After the latest Season 4 update, Call of Duty seems to have added official support for this feature by adding a new setting in the configuration file that allows you to turn this feature on and off. Before this setting was added, you could still use Resizable BAR, but in order for it to work, you had to force it on with a program called Nvidia Profile Inspector. Now, in theory, this feature can get you higher FPS and just overall better in-game performance by allowing your GPU and CPU to communicate more efficiently. So instead of small blocks of information constantly being sent from the CPU to the GPU, it allows for much larger blocks of information to be sent, in turn speeding up render times. This is supposed to cut down on CPU bottlenecking, which is actually a huge problem in Warzone 2 right now, and it's going to give your CPU more access to your VRAM. Now, I'm not going to pretend I completely understand it, but in a nutshell, it's supposed to increase performance by speeding everything up. Now, in order for Resizable BAR to work, you first have to turn it on in your computer's BIOS. Not everybody is going to have access to this feature. You have to have at least a 30 series graphics card or higher if you're using Nvidia, and at least a 400 series motherboard with at least a Ryzen 5000 CPU or higher. And if you're using Intel, it has to be a 10th generation CPU and corresponding motherboard. Now, if you're using AMD for your graphics card, it's going to be called Smart Access Memory, or SAM. It's exactly the same as Resizable BAR, just a different name, and you're going to have at least a 6000 series graphics card or higher. The new Intel Arc GPUs have it as well, and with them it's just called Rebar. Now, if you're using Nvidia, you can quickly check to see if this feature is available by right-clicking anywhere on your desktop and then go to Show More Options and then open up Nvidia Control Panel. Once you're here, you're going to come down to where it says System Information and click it. Once you see this page pop up, you're going to look for it to say Resizable BAR, and then it will either say yes or no right next to it, and that will let you know whether it's enabled or not. Now, if it doesn't say Resizable BAR at all, that's going to mean either your system doesn't support it or you need to do a BIOS update in order to gain access. If you're going to do a BIOS update, make sure you look up how to do it properly, because it can destroy your PC if you do it wrong or if your power goes out. Now, if you have the feature available and it says no next to where it says Resizable BAR, all you have to do is turn it on in your BIOS. Normally, it's really easy to get to the BIOS. You just shut down your computer and then you hit the power button to turn it back on. After that, you just start spamming the F2 button on your keyboard while your PC is booting up, and eventually you should be brought to a page similar to this, which is your BIOS. Continuously hitting F2 should get you here, but if it doesn't, just look up how to get to the BIOS for your specific PC. Once you're here in the BIOS, you want to look for where it says Resizable BAR. Once you find it, just click it, and then you should have the option to turn it on or off. And once you've hit on or enable, just come down here and click where it says Save and Exit, or you can just hit F10 and then just hit OK, and your computer should boot up normally. Now, once you're back in your desktop, you just want to double check that it's been enabled. Go back to Nvidia Control Panel or whatever you're using for AMD, and then go to System Information or its equivalent and make sure it says yes next to Resizable BAR. Once you see that it's been enabled and it says yes, next you want to open up the COD configuration file by going down to the yellow folder at the bottom of your desktop, click where it says Documents, and then go to where it says Call of Duty and then Players, and find where it says options.3.cod22 or options.3.codhq, depending on the file that you have. And then you're going to click it and open it up using Notepad or something similar. Once you see this page here, you're going to scroll down to the graphics section, find where it says Enable Optimizations when Resizable BAR is supported by uploading more data to the VRAM, and make sure it says True right here in between the parentheses. If it says false, just delete it and type in True. Make sure it's all lowercase, and then after that, go up here to where it says File and then click Save. Now, another thing you might want to do, especially if you're not seeing the setting in the configuration file, is download a program called Nvidia Profile Inspector. Just search for it in Google or whatever browser you're using, and then download it from GitHub. That way there you'll know it's safe. And then once you have it downloaded and installed, you're going to open it up, and once you see a page like this, you're going to come up here to where it says Profiles and open up the drop-down menu. After that, scroll down to the C's and find where it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 and click on it. Next, you're going to scroll down a little bit to the comment section and then come down here to where it says RBAR feature and switch it to enabled. And then right below it, you're going to click this first one here. It starts with Battlefield 5. Call of Duty is in that line with the other games. You can do the same thing with rebar size limit if you want. Call of Duty is in that Battlefield line as well. I don't normally set a size limit, that's up to you. Once you're done, you just come up here and hit apply changes, and then you're good to go. Now, if you ever want to set this back to default, just come over here and click this little green Nvidia symbol, hit apply changes, and everything will set back to how it was. Now, I'll have a video out soon showing a few more settings in here. Make sure to subscribe if you want that notification. But as a quick bonus tip, if you come up to sync and refresh, and then you come down to where it says ultra low latency enabled, just make sure you have that set to on. The one above it is just the same setting that's in the Nvidia control panel. Once you're done, just hit apply changes and you can X this out, load the game up and see if you notice a difference. Now, even if you're not seeing a major FPS improvement, it will make the game less laggy and less stuttery, and it should make the game feel a little bit more responsive. Let me know down below if you notice a difference with rebar enabled, and if you found this video helpful, drop a like, follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date on everything Warzone 2, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more short, straight-to-the-point videos like this. I'll catch you next time, and if not, kick rocks. Peace.
Kick rocks, biatch!